Morning, Russell.
Morning.
Your first deadline day as a Premier League manager. Obviously, you've been through this before. Let's start with the business of what might happen today and how close you are. Bournemouth agreed a deal in principle with Arsenal for Neto, which should now free up the deal to be completed by you and Arsenal for Aaron Ramsdale. Can you just bring us up to speed on the latest with that one?
Yeah, I think you've just done it. So I hope it all gets completed. I think until it's signed in football is I've learnt in my short spell as a manager that things can change very, very quickly, and nothing's done until it's done. So if it happens, when it happens, hopefully it'll be a huge signing for us. On the pitch, off the pitch, for the fans, for the players, for the staff. I think for opposition as well. And looking at that, I think it's a big signing. I hope it gets completed. And I hope, everyone is smiling and happy at the end of it.
And I understand Aaron's medical's been completed. Will he be involved in training today, or do you have to wait for that?
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see again. It's all about timing. So, I'm sure, I think the clubs are very advanced in what's going on with the paperwork and all that stuff. But as I said, you just mentioned there, Arsenal are trying to get one in themselves. So, I don't know that situation, but we'll be kept on top of it. And the hope is that he's registered in time to be involved tomorrow and to train this morning. And then we'll have to wait and see.
Aaron Ramsdale's obviously a player that's played at the highest level. He went to the Euros with England. He's a larger-than-life character and personality. He's got vast experience as well. What will he bring to this group? How excited are you to work with him?
Well, that experience of winning and playing at a team in a team in the Premier League that have to win. The expectation is huge. Playing internationally, he's hungry to become England's number one again, and he wants to be here. So I think that's so important. So if you'd have asked me 4 or 5 weeks ago, would we have had a chance of signing Aaron Ramsdale, I would have thought you were probably crazy. And then we spoke a fair bit over that period of time. Pestered him a little bit, and even a week ago I'd have probably thought, it's not achievable, but it's worth trying still. And then he's seen the way we played. He's watched the first couple of games. I think he admires the courage of the players and the way they play, and I think he knows he has a chance to express himself and to come in and show everyone what a good goalkeeper is. I think he's been frustrated over the last year of the lack of playing time. But I think he brings winning mentality, he brings big character, he brings big voice, which is something as a group we're not. We're quite a quiet group in terms of the players because we're a young group. So I just think he brings experience and attitude and winning mentality, and I think he's going to be great.
Now, Southampton fans will hang on every word of this next answer. Can they expect to see some more faces on deadline day today? Are you still trying to bring in new players?
I think, I hope so, rather than expect to. So, I think there'll be maybe 1 or 2 more, but it will also depend on people leaving the building. I think some players that want to go and get more playing time, some players that just aren't featured in the plans too much. But everyone's really clear on their situations. So myself, the ownership group, and it's really important to mention the owners with Aaron as well. They've backed us hugely with that signing, and it's maybe one people didn't expect. So I'm really grateful for that, and I'm convinced that Aaron and us as a group will repay that faith and that what they've done for us. So I think there'll be some people leave the building, and hopefully there'll be 1 or 2 coming in. But as I said, we'll just have to wait and see. I've learnt not to get too far ahead of yourself, especially on this day.
Is one of those Maxwell Cornet?
Again, we'll have to wait and see. So I'm pretty sure we'll get linked, or we have been linked over the last 48 hours with lots and lots of people. He's been one of them for the last week that we've been linked with. But honestly, I don't know right now. We'll have to wait and see.
Obviously, the win against Cardiff, your first win this season, would have given the whole place a lift and a boost, and to score 5 goals away from home as well would have been important for you to show that you can find the back of the net as you did so regularly in the Championship. How much has that given the whole training ground a lift this week?
Yes, but it's a nice feeling to win and to have so many young players on the pitch and so many guys playing their first game for us competitively. To play, honestly, they played some brilliant and beautiful football at times. We scored some great goals. But it's also my job to be really demanding of them and to make them understand that conceding 3 goals in the manner we did was not on. So honestly I don't have a worry about us scoring and creating. I just don't, because it's always like the last piece of the puzzle really. So we have to build up properly. We have to get there in an organised manner, in a structured way. Forest was my fault because the way we set the team up, and I don't think I got that right in terms of the context of the game for our players, and I said that. So I have to learn from that and take responsibility for that. So now we have to show what we've learned from that tomorrow against Brentford, who are a very good team, well organised. Tom's done such a brilliant job there over a long period of time, and I think it shows the benefit of time and having a consistent way of working and being aligned and a way of doing things. They've really developed and evolved into a really good Premier League club. So our job is to make sure we sort of become that in our way. And the learning from Saturday and the first game against Newcastle, and even the other night, some of the stuff we worked on in and around the final third and creating that, the lads carried out so brilliantly. And now it's up to us to go and do that on a Saturday. And once we score, the players will relax a bit, I'm pretty sure, and then hopefully that will open us up for a bit more.
Thomas Frank has confirmed this week that Ivan Toney won't play this weekend, regardless of whether he's still at the club or not. Does that help you in your preparation?
Yeah, I think like you take any bit of information you possibly can. We watched a lot the previous games. We watched their cup game during the week. That they went fairly strong. So we prepare in the same way for everyone. He's a really, really fantastic player. Has done brilliantly for them. So I don't know what it changes in their group, but we've prepared for life with him and life without him, against him on the pitch. And the lads just need to be ready for whatever's coming.
Thank you.
Hi Russell. What are the biggest differences you'll see between managing Southampton in the Championship and these early few games in the Premier League?
Well, there aren't any really. I think the difference in the Premier League. So, like, we'll coach our team and prepare our team in what we feel is the best way to win the game, and to try and learn from the previous game and the week in training to try and put the players in as many situations and scenarios that they are going to feel on the pitch on a Saturday. And it's always the best educated guess you can possibly have in what a team's going to do. And some teams will stick to what they do relentlessly. Some teams will change, and you'll be maybe surprised by that. But I think the biggest difference is on a match day is the athleticism and the power of individual players in the Premier League. So there are some outstanding tacticians in the Championship, some outstanding coaches. So in terms of tactical preparation, maybe some of them not very different in terms of, like, honestly, some of the coaches we played against last year were really outstanding, and it was difficult, and you enjoy that, working out and like I said, having an educated guess at what could work, what maybe they change. But then it comes down to moments, and so far we are a big mistake and a set piece away from having any points, which is really frustrating. But it is, when you look at the power and pace and athleticism, individual quality of players at the top end of the pitch, especially in the Premier League teams, is a big difference. And I think is why these players get bought for so much money and end up costing so much money, because they are rare and they're hard to find. But the Premier League, they're everywhere in every team. So I think that's the biggest difference. So we have to try and make sure that us as a team is stronger than sort of any individual quality that we can face, and we are going to face some brilliant teams that are littered with that everywhere across the pitch. So it's been interesting. It's really interesting. I'm enjoying the process, and I'm enjoying the learning. I'm enjoying being involved in it. And after 2 games, I feel really confident and happy with the group that what we can go and do this season.
You mentioned about creating those big moments. What can you do yourself to work with your team on the training pitch to create them going forward? Well,
I think we play with principles. So there's some principles in the build-up and the middle of the pitch and then the final third that are really important for us. But also to give them a chance to express themselves and play free in the final third, and to have the courage to go and take the risks that some of the guys do in the build-up phase early on in the further down the pitch. So I think it's giving them the license to do that. To let them have some fun in the final third, and Yeah, honestly, I've got no worries about that. Forrest was, as I said, is my fault. So he's not theirs. So hopefully we can see some change in that, as we did against Cardiff the other night. And honestly, yeah, I'm convinced we will.
I know Mark mentioned there'll be no Ivan Toney on Saturday, but what other threats do you think Brentford pose to you?
Well, they have lots. They have lots of really good players, and I know one or two of their players, being wanted by other clubs, because it shows the talent they have. They have some real power and pace at the top end of the pitch, as I just discussed. They're really well organised. They hunt the ball. They work really, really hard. They're evolving all the time as a team in possession and try different things. They play with tempo and intensity, so it's really ingrained in that club, the way they do things, and it runs throughout, and you can see that. So, and they have a real threat. Set pieces, they're big, they're strong. So it's going to be an interesting challenge for us. I think they all are. They're all going to be different. They're all going to be interesting. But the challenge for us is to be the team we want to be always, whether we're at Brentford, whether we're at Man City, whether we're at home. So and I love that challenge for the players. It's the biggest challenge for us, is to remain true to who we are and to adapt and work out a way without losing what we are and what's got us here in the first place. And tomorrow's game is no different in terms of that.
And just finally from me, when the window closes tonight, will you be a happy manager or a sad manager?
Well, I'll be very happy the window's closed. Whether I'm really happy or really sad will depend on how the squad's ending up. But honestly, I think I'll be happy. I think the players we've added already, the one or two that we might add today maybe, could be exciting for us. And all you ever want, I guess, after the window is the squad stronger than what it was. And I think we will be. And that has to be the aim at the end of the window. You're never going to get everything you want. But actually, as I said earlier this week, I think we've done good business in the short term that can help us in the Premier League. But I think we've done outstanding business for the medium to long term in this club as well. So, which maybe shouldn't or won't be people's priority and some fans' priority. They just want to make sure we stay up. But I think we've added people to do that. But also the club's in a really, really good place with the people in the building in terms of character and quality and youth. Added with some experience mixed in, so I'll be really happy either way, because I love my job and I love the people I work with, and I've learned the hard way at times in the deadline on transfer windows to just take it for what it is and not to get too stressed about it, and to really fight for what you want. But there's no fight here because people are really, really aligned and really want to help. So. But to be really strong with what you want and clear, and everyone's been clear, and as I said, we've been backed and we've been supported. So I don't think you can ever ask for more than that.
So we obviously will focus on who you're trying to get in still, but you have got a big squad still, and there are some players. How important is that for you as a coach and manager for the rest of this period to the winter now? The day-to-day coaching of the squad, that you get the right size and get it down a bit.
Yeah, I think. Ideally, you don't want to leave 6 or 7 players out of the squad on a Saturday that are really good players and really good people. And it's the hardest bit of managing is leaving people out and taking away from them that opportunity to play on the pitch and that moment to have on the pitch. And so it's tough. And ideally, you don't have 6 or 7 players, which you will have tomorrow, as it stands. And obviously, that will change as the day goes on. But we'll find a way. Whatever we're left with, we'll find a way. Ideally, it's a little bit smaller, but it'll never be as big as when we first walked into the building and had 32 players to work with. So we managed to find a way through then, and we'll find a way through again this time.
Did any of the players Wednesday, now you've assessed what happened, actually do what you wanted, which is give you questions about selection for Brentford, or is Brentford away not the place to be throwing people in?
No, I think 2 or 3 of the players really staked a claim, and of course there is that discussion about Brentford away, but I think like if we feel they've done well enough and they're ready to play, then they should be able to play anywhere. So I think 2 or 3 were outstanding. There was a lot of good performances in the pitch and a lot of things to be happy about and a lot of stuff to work on, a lot of them playing their first game for us. So 2 or 3 players really staked a claim, and could make a difference for us on the pitch tomorrow for sure.
You talked about, you said it was your mistake against Forest, and talked about the final third. Is that more to do with getting Adam and Ben closer to each other, or in the box more, or what is it you want?
Yeah, so I think it's positions on the pitch, but we should have had them a lot closer together a lot, but we turned the ball over too much. Impossible when we get there and the ball just turns over. How we're supposed to get them closer? You spend a bit longer there. We can, as we did at Newcastle, where we should have scored 3 goals. They were together in the box a lot, which was highlighted by a chance where they both missed a chance together at the same, like one after the other. But yeah, so I think as a manager, you also have to accept responsibility. Like when you come off in a game feeling like it's not, and like there's times we lost last season where we've been really dominant, but the game, it just one thing happens, there's a mistake or there's a brilliant goal or whatever. So, but it wasn't that. I just felt the game passed us by a little bit as a group, and I don't want that. I don't want them. They have 38 games, 36 now in the Premier League to really seize their moment and seize their opportunity. And I don't want another game like that where I felt the whole day just passed us all by, really, which is disappointing. So I don't want to feel like that. If we're going to lose, we're going to lose in our way, having really been us and attacked the game. And it was just a bit nice. And I don't want us to be nice. I want us to be the team we were at Newcastle, and especially that run last season and towards the back end of the season. I want us to be really horrible to play against, and I think hopefully tomorrow we will see that.
We've got the link with Rasmus, obviously, previously working with Brentford. Are they a great example for you? I always think of them as a great example of how to get up to the Premier League and stay up, and they've got a core of players that have been with them for years. Is that how you'd like to see your squad develop with that core?
Yeah, I think it's a brilliant blueprint. I think the style of play is different to ours, and so their recruitment strategy and their philosophy, the culture around the club will be different. But I think it's an amazing example of how to build something over a period of time and to give people time. And I know Rasmus is still in touch with a lot of people there and the manager and their friends, and he has a lot of admiration because he started off that process with them. And I think it's great that he's got that experience. It's great for us because he's very calm. He understands the game model really well. It is different to Brentford's, but he loves what the way we play, and he's always offers opinion, and he's been great. He's been really good, especially with the recruitment process and the way he works. And I've really enjoyed working with him, Henrik Andragen, and we have a really good relationship. As I said, we're really open with each other, and I think they've been, since we've been here, they've been brilliant. Especially last season when early on it was quite bumpy, and they never ever once felt like there was any pressure in terms of like our jobs. They've been nothing but supportive, and for me as a manager, and for us as a young group of coaching staff as well, it's been brilliant. So yeah, I think we will try and build in our way, but if we can be as sustainable and as established as Brentford are in a couple of years, then we're on to something good, I think.
Just finally, on Aaron's impending arrival, you've talked about the character. Hopeful, yeah. You talked about the character which he brings, which I agree with you. That's a similar mindset to Adel Lallana, that winning mentality, professionalism. How much of a boost is it for the rest of the squad, and how much does it help you? How much does it give the dressing room a lift having someone like that come in?
Yeah, I think it will be massive. I think it will be. I think some of the guys might be surprised that he's coming, but I think it's big. I think it'll give everyone a lift. But I also think it's not like there'll be one guy in there that's not happy about it, which is Alex. And Alex has been amazing for us. If he hadn't come in the team and did what he did last season, we don't get promoted. If he'd come in rusty, because he hadn't even been number 2 for a lot of the season, without Alex, we're not in the Premier League, I think. So I'll be forever grateful to Alex. He's done great this season. People will talk about the mistake at Newcastle and all that, but he was brilliant on Saturday. I now have a big call to make if we get Aaron done in time, if it happens, for tomorrow's game. So I feel for Alex. Whilst I'm really happy that Aaron's coming in and really, really happy with the group we have and excited about that signing, I really feel for Alex. and it's a really tough part of football, and is that someone's always going to be upset and someone's always going to be unhappy with that happening, and but I also have no doubt that Alex will be a brilliant teammate, as he was all of last season, even when he wasn't playing, because he's a fantastic guy. I absolutely love Al and what he brings to us as a group, and he's so calm and trains really, really well. And when he's played, he's been outstanding. So, I think just wanted to make that really clear, that whilst I'm really excited about the signing, I also want to make sure that everyone appreciates the job that Al did for us and respects that, and knows that Aaron knows if he comes in the building, he's got someone that we really trust breathing down his neck, and another guy, Joe Lumley, who is one of the best teammates you could ever find. So, it's in a good place if Aaron comes in that department. And I'm sure it will give everyone a lift, but there will be one guy that is feeling a bit differently about it.
Thank you. Okay, we'll move on for 10:30 this evening, I think.
Sure. It feels like a long time ago, Russell, we saw Aaron Ramsdale turn up to Wembley in a Harry Potter costume. I was just wondering if you've had a chance to discuss Harry Potter with him at all.
The deal was agreed then, mate, at Wembley at the Hilton during the party. So, it was actually a bit surreal to turn around and see him in his costume and realise it was him. I think he had a good night. I think he had a better night than most of our players, to be honest. So it was. Brooksy was. They had to cancel Brooksy's stag do because of the playoff final. Bless him. So they used the Wembley playoff final as an opportunity to do that. And then Brooksy dislocated his shoulder, so he didn't have much fun either. So he stayed in his kit all night. But I think. I'm pretty sure if it happens or when it happens that there'll be all sorts of pictures of him in that costume, and fair play to him for having a go.
You mentioned outstanding long-term business and the club being in a good place. Does that suggest for you that whatever happens this season, whatever league you're in, the club will be secure to compete financially and in the league table?
Yeah, I hope so. I think that's been a big part of the process for a year, is to try and not sort out like the situation, but to sort of bring it back to a place where everyone's a bit more comfortable. And obviously getting promoted gave us a chance to do that. It was really, really important for the football club. I think Phil's come out and said that to you guys. So it was huge for everyone. So now we have a chance to do things in a way that protect the club and help the club in the not just the short term but the medium to long term as well. I think that's really, really important, because when you're in the Premier League for a while and then the threat of leaving the Premier League and being relegated is so big, you make decisions that you maybe wouldn't make some before, and maybe if you look back you wouldn't make again. So I think that's learning for everyone. So I think, listen, I would love us just to go and spend hundreds of millions of pounds and loads of different players, but it's not the way to do it, and I don't always think that brings success, and it's definitely not the way we're going to do it. And so we have to be different, and we have to do it in our way, and I think having a really clear way of playing helps that, and a really clear plan with the owners about trying to buy players that are hungry and desperate to be here, and can help the club in terms of like future value. But you can only do so many of those, and you need some experienced guys like Adam Lallana, like Aaron Ramsdale to try and come and help them along. And we'll be in a good place, I think, as a club. And now we have to keep marching on and win games and make sure that we try and stay here, and gives us a chance to then keep building again.
Brentford's been a relatively tough place to go the last couple of times, but is there enough new faces and a new belief that those guys who are here for both those games don't go there with any fear?
No, there'll always be fear, mate. The no fear thing is a bit of a myth. So they're like, no, I don't think I ever went into a game without any fear at all. I think it's just about managing it and actually being realistic about it. So what's the fear going into Brentford? We've lost the first two games. It's tough, it's frustrating, it's disappointing. We have an international break after this, so you don't want to go into international break on the back of 3 defeats. Will it change anything on the grand scheme of things? Not really. We'll still work, and we'll work in our way, and we'll make sure that we're fine and we find a way. But I think that, of course, will be the general feeling. But I think the feeling of excitement and the belief in what they've done over the 2 games, they've seen enough and felt enough to be really excited and to feel positive and to believe in what they're doing. And I think the beautiful thing about this group is they believe so much in what they're doing, and the players we've brought in are coming because of the way we play and because they want to be part of that. So not coming in going, I'm not sure about that. They're convinced it's the right way, because most of them have chosen us over other people because of that. So I think when you weigh it up, hopefully the excitement and the belief and the confidence in what they're doing and the work and the trust in the work takes over any of that, and they can go and put in a performance that we all feel happy with and proud of.
I was watching Lee Carson's first England press conference yesterday. He was talking about Trent Alexander-Arnold. He just randomly name dropped Carl Peters as somebody you've been watching for the last couple of weeks. He's obviously played a couple of times for England before. How much of a chance do you think he has? And is that a real ambition for him?
I think he's on the standby list, so he obviously has a good chance. I think at some point, if he carries on playing the way he's playing, and he's really flexible, Carl. So, and I think having watched Lee's 21s team, he's a player that would really suit the way that if he takes that into the first team, which I'm sure he will, he'll really suit the way that they play. So Carl needs to just keep doing what he's doing. He's been great for us. I think he's started the season really, really well in terms of performance, especially after a pre-season where he didn't play too much, and all the noise around him. So I think he's dealt brilliantly with that, and he has to keep doing what he's doing, and hopefully we'll have him and others getting international recognition throughout the season.
Obviously the international break's coming up and you brought players in the last couple of weeks and you may add some today. How big can the international break to help those players get up to speed, although you obviously have players leaving?
Well, we have a lot of people away, so it's not like we can work really, really fluidly as a team, but actually we can get work in that is difficult during the season, and especially like physically, and get a bit of tactical work, position specific work for guys that have just come into the building or still need a bit of that. So actually, I mean, the fact we have 3 breaks one after the other, I don't like that. I don't know the schedule, and I know it must be difficult, but I just don't like that. It's really difficult to build any momentum, and but I think every team has to deal with that, right? So we'll work as hard as we can during the break. They'll also have a little bit of rest as well, because we'll all need that because it's a long old season. But yeah, I think it'll be a really important period actually for 1 or 2 of the players to really get some work in and come back and be ready in a better place than they were.
We spoke to Cameron Archer and he said that one of the big reasons he wanted to come to Southampton was because of your brains and the way you look at the game. Has there been anything you've sort of picked up on him that's maybe surprised you since you've been working with him more closely?
Well, it's a big compliment that. I appreciate it. But I think we knew what we were getting, and it's better than I thought. Because when you watch someone at close quarters, you know, I've liked him for a long time since he was at Middlesbrough and played so well against our Swansea team, and so you watch someone and you like them, but when he comes in the building, it's even more exciting with the tools he has and how willing he is to learn. And he's a great kid, like a great young man. I've been so impressed with him as a person, and I think that's really important. And he just wants to get better, and he wants to score, and he asks questions, and he wants to learn, and he wants to evolve and adapt. And I think when we have someone like that with the raw talent he has as well, and the athletic ability he has, then that's seriously exciting as a coach to work with. So I hope that he's enjoying it, and I hope that he feels like he's going to be a big part of it, because I think he is.
Nathan Wood recalled that Middlesbrough game. I think he said he was a real handful playing up against him, and the way he sort of leathered shots, I must fill you with a bit of confidence when he's through on goal, right?
I think, he just wants to score. So I think we can definitely help certain aspects of his game and make him a player that can really contribute in other areas for us as well. But he's going to be judged on goals, and he's a fantastic finisher, always in the right place, and works so hard for the team. Out of possession, what he done the other night was really fantastic. So yeah, when you add all that together, it's a really exciting signing for the club. Really, really top talent, and another young, hungry player that wants to be here and wants to play in this way and wants to learn.